Kevin Costner didn't just ride off into the sunset. He galloped straight into one of the boldest moves of his career. After leaving behind Yellowstone and his iconic role as John Dutton, Costner is back with something even bigger: Horizon, an American Saga. But what started as a dream, Western quickly became a high-stakes Hollywood drama, on and off the screen. With $100 million of his own money on the line, a creative standoff with Paramount, and an unfolding legal battle, Costner's vision for Horizon has become more than just a movie. It's a mission. In this video, we're breaking down exactly what Horizon is all about, why it's causing waves behind the scenes, and what this means for Costner's future with Yellowstone and beyond. Is this his greatest gamble or his ultimate legacy? Let's dive into the story behind the saga. What is Horizon? Kevin Costner's vision explained. When Kevin Costner first announced Horizon, an American Saga, many thought it would be another classic Western. But this isn't just another ride through the frontier. Horizon is a massive four-part cinematic journey that dives into the brutal, complex, and often overlooked realities of America's westward expansion. It's not just cowboys and gunfights, it's about families torn apart, cultures clashing, and the cost of chasing manifest destiny. This is Costner's passion project, years in the making, and it's shaping up to be one of the most ambitious Western epics in modern film history. At its core, Horizon isn't just telling one story, it's telling dozens, interwoven across time and space. Costner's vision is to show how the American West wasn't built by heroes alone, but by people struggling through unimaginable hardship. The film spans 15 years before, during, and after the Civil War, capturing the experiences of settlers, indigenous tribes, soldiers, and frontier families. Think Yellowstone meets Dances with Wolves, but on a much larger canvas. It's not about romanticizing the Old West, it's about exploring its truths, no matter how uncomfortable. Costner, who's directing, producing, co-writing, and starring in the saga, has poured his heart and a chunk of his own money into making Horizon happen. He reportedly mortgaged property to fund the first chapter, proof that he's all in on this story. And while his departure from Yellowstone raised eyebrows, it's clear he left to pursue something that matters deeply to him. With Horizon, he isn't just trying to make another blockbuster, he's crafting a legacy. A Western told through a lens few filmmakers dare to use anymore. One rooted in historical reality, moral ambiguity, and sweeping emotional scale. So, what is Horizon really? It's a statement. It's Kevin Costner's answer to where the Western genre can go next. Not as nostalgia, but as reckoning. In an era of spin-offs and shared universes, Costner is building something bigger. A standalone saga that tells the story of America, for better or worse, through the eyes of those who lived it. And whether it becomes a box office juggernaut or a cult classic, one thing's for sure. This is the Western Kevin Costner was born to make. The $100 million gamble, was it worth it? Kevin Costner didn't just make a movie, he made a bet. A massive, personal, $100 million gamble on a story he believes the world needs to see. In an era when studios hesitate to greenlight original Westerns, Costner put his own money on the line to bring Horizon, an American Saga, to life. Most actors would have settled for franchise deals or streaming contracts. Costner, he mortgaged his own property. That's not just dedication, that's obsession. And the question on everyone's mind is, was it worth it? The stakes couldn't be higher. Horizon isn't just one film, it's 4, with the first 2 already completed and set for release just months apart. Costner is aiming to build an epic on the scale of Dances with Wolves, Lonesome Dove, and The Revenant combined, but he's doing it outside the Hollywood system, driven by vision instead of studio notes. That kind of creative freedom is rare, but it's also risky. If the box office doesn't deliver, Costner could be remembered as the man who walked away from Yellowstone and lost it all. But here's the thing, Costner's not playing it safe, and that's exactly why Horizon matters. While studios pour hundreds of millions into superhero sequels and reboots, Costner is trying to remind audiences what cinema used to be: bold, personal, and willing to confront the real cost of American history. Whether Horizon becomes a financial triumph or not, its very existence is a statement about art, about storytelling, and about risking everything for a project that actually means something. So was the $100 million gamble worth it? That depends on what you're measuring. If you're counting ticket sales, we'll have to wait and see. But if you're talking about legacy, cultural weight, and creative courage, then Costner may have already won. Because in a world of safe bets, Kevin Costner rolled the dice for something real. What the legal battle is really about. While headlines have framed Kevin Costner's exit from Yellowstone as a scheduling issue or a personality clash, the real story runs much deeper. And it's not just about screen time. At the heart of this legal standoff is a complex battle over creative control, money, and legacy. Costner didn't just act in Yellowstone, he helped define it. But as the show's success exploded, so did tensions between the man who embodied John Dutton and the machine behind the Yellowstone empire. The biggest sticking point? Costner's schedule, yes, but not because he didn't want to work. He was building Horizon, a sprawling, multi-film Western saga that demanded his full attention. According to court filings and behind-the-scenes reports, Costner was willing to return for more episodes under a modified schedule. But communication reportedly broke down between his camp and Paramount. And when trust disappears in a project this big, everything else unravels fast. But this legal battle isn't just about time or money, it's about ownership. Costner believed in Yellowstone before it became a phenomenon. As the show grew into a brand, decisions were increasingly made without him at the table. That's a tough pill to swallow for someone who's dedicated his career to telling Western stories with authenticity and purpose. Walking away wasn't just about creative differences, it was about regaining control over the kind of stories he wanted to tell. Stories like Horizon, which no network executive can reshape. So what's this legal fight really about? It's not petty drama, it's one of Hollywood's oldest battles, artist versus system. Costner wanted freedom, the studio wanted structure, and when those forces clashed, it wasn't just the end of John Dutton, it was the beginning of a whole new saga, one that Costner is now writing on his own terms, for better or worse. Will this hurt Costner's relationship with Paramount and Yellowstone? Kevin Costner's departure from Yellowstone wasn't just a casting change, it was a seismic shift in one of television's biggest franchises. And while the official statements from both sides aim to keep things diplomatic, the fallout has raised a serious question. Has Costner's relationship with Paramount and the Yellowstone brand been permanently damaged? After all, we're not just talking about a lead actor walking away, we're talking about the face of the Dutton family, the man who was the show for 5 straight seasons. Tensions flared when Costner began prioritizing his passion project, Horizon, an American Saga, and negotiations with Paramount reportedly grew strained. At one point, legal disputes were in motion over pay, filming windows, and creative rights. Those issues don't just vanish even after cameras stop rolling, and with Taylor Sheridan now crafting the future of Yellowstone without its original star, it's clear that the studio is preparing to move on, with or without Costner. That said, Hollywood has a short memory when success is on the table. If Horizon becomes a critical and box office triumph, don't be surprised if the tone shifts. Paramount might eventually welcome Costner back into the fold, whether for a one-off appearance, a retrospective project, or even a new series down the line. After all, Sheridan and Costner both care deeply about Western storytelling. Their paths could cross again once the dust settles and egos cool. But for now, the bridge between Costner and Yellowstone looks scorched, if not entirely burned. So will this hurt the relationship? In the short term, absolutely. But in Hollywood, relationships are only as fragile as the next deal. Costner is betting big on Horizon, and Paramount is betting big on the Dutton legacy without him. Whether those bets bring them back together or drive them further apart will depend on one thing: who wins the West next. Kevin Costner's journey with Horizon is far from over, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Whether this epic saga reshapes the Western genre or rewrites Hollywood's rulebook, one thing is clear: Costner is betting everything on his vision, no matter the cost. What do you think? Will Horizon be the next great American epic or a cautionary tale of ambition and risk? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your take. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for all the latest updates on Yellowstone, Horizon, and more. Thanks for watching, and remember, every legend has its story.